Joker 2 was Folie a Deux Deux. Bro, when I tell you that the Joker was barely even in this movie, and even when he was, it was mostly all in his head. Don't get me wrong, Arthur Fleck was around, but when he was doing just about nothing the entire time. When I tell you that this movie didn't even have a plot, they didn't have a message to tell, they didn't have a story to give, I genuinely turned to my lady at one point during the movie and I said that I think that they just made this movie because Lady Gaga wanted to sing on camera. I knew it was gonna be a musical, but this shit, god damn. They absolutely overkilled this movie with it. Couldn't even get past a single serious scene without them breaking into song. Most of this movie, by the way, takes place in prison and in a courtroom. I'd say 90% of the movie comprises of those two things, those two locations. And tell me how Harley just happened to be in the male prison section. And she just had all of this freedom because she self-admitted herself. Was Harley in Joker's head in this movie? I really don't know. This whole plot there was no plot. It was just confusion. But yet she sets a fire somehow and Arthur and Harley nearly break out of the prison together, or at least they tried to. And then they got separated. When they got separated, they put the Joker in the hole. And for those of you who do not know prison speak, the hole is solitary confinement. It is a tiny room that they lock you in by yourself for days or weeks at a time. And in the Joker's case in this movie, in Arthur's case, Joker was nowhere to be found in this movie. They put him in there for 2 weeks. And somehow, after a little while, Harley was able to not just visit him, but bring him stuff like makeup, the Joker makeup, and she started painting his face. And then the most nasty, awkward sex scene just started erupting in front of me. This dude busted in like 2 seconds. You know what? Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. I'd say 20 seconds this man was in there. And I'm not lying. There was this sound effect that played when he popped that shit in there, and it sounded like he just stuck it into a sock, or like he scraped his meat on some sandpaper. That meat was dry. And you should see the way this man stroke. You should see the way this man stroke. It was uncomfortable. Joker was hitting that shit like he had somewhere else to be. A lot of this movie didn't even feel like it was about Arthur at all. It felt like Harley Quinn the movie. Who would have guessed that's how this was gonna turn out? Why is it always that? It's mainly with video games, but I'm seeing it in a pattern in movies now, where the sequel always just seems to suck. Who was the target audience for this movie? I would say that this movie isn't even meant for the people who like Margot Robbie's Harley. This Harley looked more like the Gotham Knights Harley than anything. And overall, this movie just got on my nerves because it was so goddamn annoying. There was one scene with Gary from the first movie. You know, the little small dude, really happy dude, really nice dude. The guy that we all wish we had as a friend, yeah, him. The one that Arthur scarred for life, yeah, him. The one that Arthur committed a murder in front of, yeah, him. They had a very dramatic, very serious scene in the courthouse where your boy Gary was testifying against him and telling everybody the story of what happened the day where he went over to Arthur's and then Arthur killed that other mother. I don't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, this bald dude right here. He was going on about how we all know that he was a bully, but Gary was saying that he still didn't deserve to die, especially the way that Arthur killed him. They had this back and forth, and it seemed like the plot was going somewhere. But as soon as this scene ends, they start singing more songs. They went to this scene in Arthur's head where him and Harley were getting married. And who was at the altar after that serious scene? Gary, singing and dancing, jiving with him. You know, doing a whole jig right next to him. This movie just made no sense. It made no sense. It made no sense because of Harley Quinn's plot armor. It made no sense because of the lack of a plot. There was no story in this movie to be told. Why was this even made? Was it for money? Because the first one did so well, you just decided to make another one? I was telling people for years that the first Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix was the type of movie that really did not need a sequel. We did not need to see where they could take this. And they took it straight to hell. Musical hell. Tell me why Harvey Dent was in this movie. Isn't he and Bruce Wayne supposed to be around the same age? Last time we saw Bruce, he was still a little boy. You telling me that he would be in a courtroom looking like this dude right now? And for those of you who are wondering why I'm saying that, Harvey Dent has been mistaken to be the Batman on numerous occasions, up until the little Two-Face situation happened, which they had a little Easter egg of towards the end of this movie. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't figured that out by now, bitch nigga. Hold up, why would you click on this video anyway? Like I get that I didn't give you the spoiler warning earlier, but why are you still here if you don't want to know about the movie? Every single time I got locked into this movie, it would last for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then they would start singing again. And the songs had nothing to do with the scenes that were being portrayed in front of our eyes. It was just random. They would play different versions of like Frank Sinatra songs. It sounded like church music at one point. What the hell were they talking about, singing about going to the top of a mountain on the top of a hill? You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. It made no sense. There were a couple of songs that did match the scenes that was happening in front of us. And you could understand that they were trying to tell somewhat of a story through the music. But other times they were just playing stuff that they licensed from another artist and making it their own, singing it to each other. And my girlfriend got pissed off at one point because she said that they were ruining a song that she heard from The Simpsons. And she loves The Simpsons. You want to know what's wrong with the singing scenes in this movie? It's not that the Joker was singing. It's actually very in character for the Joker to do so. We've seen Mark Hamill do it at least twice. In The Killing Joke, I'm pretty sure, when he sang I Go Loony. And then in Arkham Knight, when he was singing to the Batman about how he's happy that his parents are dead and stuff like that. It was good. Hell, I would listen to that on repeat on a good day. But the way that they did it here was just trash. Garbage. I would not watch this movie again. I would watch the first movie again, but I would toss this one in the garbage disposal. I'm about to spoil the ending. So, in the court scene, you know, that was going on for like the other 70-80% of this goddamn movie, a car bomb goes off outside. Arthur escapes. Somebody wearing a Joker costume grabs Arthur, puts him in the car, drives him away. Police pull up. He gets out the car. He runs. He's running back home. He's going up the steps. Who's there? Harley. She cut her hair, did her makeup all different. And all of a sudden, she doesn't want the Joker anymore because of the stuff that he was saying in the courtroom about how the Joker isn't real and it's all Arthur. She don't want Arthur. No, she wants the psychopath. She wants the guy who was killing people, thinking that he had a purpose of doing so, but because he feels all this regret for it now, and he wishes he didn't kill anyone, she don't like him anymore. She had a little girl boss moment. She starts singing in his face. No pun intended, but I'm not joking. He looks her in the face as she's singing to him, and he says, I don't want to sing anymore. Bitch, I don't want to hear you sing anymore. I'm just surprised nobody in this cinema walked out the door. I was yawning and yawning, getting tired because I was getting bored. And if I could give you a review for this movie, I would say to ignore. Act like it doesn't exist. Move on with your life. And at the very end, they did something. This dude went over to Arthur and said that he wanted to tell him a joke and that he'd make it quick. So immediately I knew this man is about to die. He tells him the joke, says that he's gonna get exactly what he fucking deserves, and then he stabs the absolute hell out of this man. Chefdom, Gordon Ramsay. He falls to the ground, and then he starts singing. I'm not joking, this whole movie was ridiculous, just like this. He can't even take his own death seriously. And apparently, this movie is supposed to be a prequel to the Dark Knight trilogy. This is just a theory, but it's because after that crazy dude who killed Arthur stabbed the hell out of him, he starts cutting up his own face, Heath Ledger style. Todd Phillips, do not piss me off. Leave Heath Ledger alone. Let him rest in peace. Don't drag him into this shitty movie. The movie was garbage. Save your money. Do not go see it under any circumstance. I promise you will miss nothing. There was nothing of value to be seen here. Just pretend that it doesn't exist. Watch the first Joker movie over and over. It's all you need to see. There wasn't even really any action scenes in this movie at all. There was nothing except the stuff that he was thinking of in his head. And that is on God. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe. I'm pissed off. Comment down below if you've seen the movie and you want to share your thoughts and opinions on it, because God damn, it was bad. I went into it hoping it would be more like Morbius. I know, sad, but goddamn, I enjoyed it much more than this, and I was vastly disappointed. But anywho, I will be seeing you. Take care, in peace.
Baby, let me see some. Okay, too bad. Bitches, going both ways. She gon' do it for these fans. She make it clap like how I do both of my hands. Fuck it up, stick it up.